everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Web3 Deep Dive Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Wolfson. I'm so excited for today's interview. Today, I'll be speaking with Olivia Santarelli. She is the head of marketing at Gemini Exchange. Gemini is a cryptocurrency exchange. They're one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. They're a US-based exchange, so a lot of people in the United States use Gemini. And in this episode, we discuss all things about Gemini Exchange, all things with the marketing and what they're doing there, and also about the amazing drone show that Gemini hosted at South by Southwest 2025, which was just incredible. And I think the whole world, or at least the whole crypto space right now, is talking about that memorable drone show. So I'm really excited to talk with Olivia today. She's great. She's so knowledgeable when it comes to all things marketing. And I just am so excited for you guys to watch this episode. Also, before getting started with the interview, I want to take the time to thank Quai Network. Quai has been a great sponsor and supporter behind Web3 Deep Dive Podcast. Thank you again to Quai for letting us use this beautiful podcasting space here in Austin, Texas to film these interviews. You guys have made this possible, so big shout out to Quai. Thank you again. Also, before getting started with the interview, I want to take the time to let you guys know to please like and subscribe if you like the content that you're seeing today. It would mean the world to me if you just hit that like button, hit subscribe, and stay in touch because we've got a lot of more great content coming. Okay, without further ado, let's get started with today's interview. Hey, Olivia, how's it going?
Oh, great. How are you?
Doing well. I'm so happy that you're here on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I've loved meeting you this week, so I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, well, you guys obviously made South by Southwest for me, as we were talking about before, coming on the show. The drone show that Gemini hosted, and we'll talk all about that, was just incredible.
I'm so glad you saw it. I'm glad you loved it. Like, we had so much fun putting it together. So to see it go live last night was just amazing. And it was sort of this like surreal moment, seeing it all come together. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it definitely was surreal.
Yeah.
So before we get into that and some other questions, could you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, what do you do at Gemini, and how you got involved in crypto?
Yeah, of course. I've been at Gemini for about 5.5 years. I joined in summer 2019. Prior to Gemini, I worked at American Express for a few years, mostly on the acquisition side on their small business team. And I loved American Express, but I just felt like there wasn't as much career growth opportunities, and I wanted to sort of work somewhere where there was just a high growth potential and, a lot of like career development. So knew I sort of wanted to go the startup route. I'd been reading about Bitcoin, about blockchain, felt like that was this really interesting area to sort of go from like traditional finance to this new form of finance, and saw the job at Gemini for customer marketing lead. And I had never worked on the customer marketing side, so I felt like it was this just complete like 180 from the acquisition side that I had been working on for so many years. So met the team, loved them, and then joined in August, and I've been there ever since.
Wow. So did you join in August? Was it 2018 or 2019?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you initially started off on the customer side, but now you're head of marketing?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah, I was spent a couple of years really focused on developing all of the life cycle marketing. I was the first life cycle marketer there. So everything from setting up all of our customer marketing campaigns, our emails, push notifications, sort of laying the foundation, even like transactional emails. It was a really great experience to sort of like build that from the ground up, and then also then be able to have an opportunity to learn other areas of marketing, take on some more work on like the growth side, and then start to work more on the brand side, and now get to lead the team globally, which is fun.
Yeah, and then also plan cool things like a world record breaking drone shows in Austin for South by.
Yeah, honestly, it's been amazing, and to be able to do fun things like this. One of my favorite parts of working at Gemini is just everybody like gets really excited about all of these crazy ideas. It's never like, oh no, we can't do that, or it's never been done. It's always like, how can we go bigger, or how can we do something totally different? And so I have loved that part about it, and it just makes it so much fun. And we brought a few people here from the team this week, and so it's just fun to like all get to hang out and experience something like the drone show together.
Yeah, definitely fun. Making crypto fun again.
Yeah,
or I guess
exactly.
Crypto has always been fun, but you guys are adding like a definite like fun element to it.
Yeah, we've made it fun, and I think even when it maybe hasn't been fun, it's like the team of people that you're surrounded by make it fun. So regardless of the market conditions, I feel like it's the group of people that, you know, I spend every day with that make it fun.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, definitely. Tell our listeners a little bit about Gemini and what you guys do. Some people might not be familiar with the exchange.
Yeah, we are a cryptocurrency exchange and custodian founded in 2014 by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. We are founded and based in New York City. We're available in all 50 states, about 60 countries globally. You can buy, sell, store Bitcoin and 70 plus cryptos on Gemini. You could stake ETH in Matic, and we also have a credit card product, which I love. It's my favorite product that we offer. You can earn Bitcoin or any other crypto back on everyday purchases. So I really love that product, and I feel like it's a great way to sort of get people into crypto. You can just start to earn Bitcoin back on every purchase. You don't have to think about like trading or timing the market. So that's my favorite product lately.
That's great. And that's also through MasterCard?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Issued by WebBank and MasterCard.
So it's just a regular credit card that anybody can have. You know, they apply for it. If they qualify, they get the credit card, they spend it, and they get crypto back. Yep. And that goes into the Gemini wallet?
Yes. Yep. Wow. Instant crypto rewards.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you can change your crypto at any point. So if you're, you know, really into Solana in the moment, you can earn on Solana, and then later on you can start to earn back on Bitcoin. So you can change your reward type at any time.
Awesome. When was the credit card launched?
I think it was about 2 years ago. Yeah.
And have you seen a lot of adoption around it?
Yeah, definitely. And especially lately, more people who are entering crypto are entering it through the credit card product, which I'm excited about, because it's just a way to bring more people in. You know, I think it can be scary if you're new to crypto to try to think about what is the price of Bitcoin today, or what price should I buy it at. And this is a way for you to not have to worry about that as much. You can just start to earn rewards back through just everyday purchases.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're starting to see more people come into crypto through a product like the credit card.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's also, I think, one of the best strategies for sure. You know, you and I were also talking about Lolly, which is the browser extension.
Yeah.
And it's so easy because when I online shop, which I do way too much of, it's horrible. But anyways, when I online shop and I have Lolly on, I earn Bitcoin back for my purchases. So I think it's really easy to get people in crypto, in the mainstream, interested in crypto through things like that.
Totally. Yeah, you can sort of think like, oh, I'm maybe buying this at like a discount at some later date or something.
Totally. I mean, because then when the price of, you know, Bitcoin goes up, you see that you've got more in your wallet sometimes. So
yeah, definitely, especially the past few months, to go in and like be able to see the crypto rewards that I've been earning over the last 2 years increase has been fun.
Yeah. What is the percentage back on like Bitcoin, for instance? Do you know?
You can earn up to 4% back. So you can earn 4% back on gas and EV charging, and then 1% back on every other purchase.
Awesome. Cool. Great. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what is it like to head marketing for one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, or in the US, but I don't know, in the world? Or is it just the US? It's a very large exchange.
In the world.
Yeah.
It's been so fun, and I just love that, you know, I've had sort of different experiences every like 3 months. It feels like my role has changed a lot. You know, my first few months I was setting up email marketing campaigns, and then I was able to set up push notification campaigns, and you know, that's a totally different type of thing than emails. And so it feels like every few months I've gotten this opportunity to like learn something new and do something totally different, which I have grown a lot from, and I really love. And you know, I feel like my team is super supportive. Like we just have a really great team, and everybody's really engaged and brings fresh ideas every day. And so it's been a great experience, and I feel like I've had amazing opportunities to grow and develop my career and learn so much along the way. So I've loved it. Even in moments when the market hasn't been great, it's still been really fun, and you learn something totally new through that type of period too. Like when the market is down, you learn a different skill set than when the market is up, and you have a bigger budget and you're able to spend more. Like those are two totally different skill sets, and I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to learn through both of them.
It's so interesting you bring that up because, and I've been in the industry since 2017, and the market does impact my career. Mm-hmm. When the market's up, everybody wants a crypto journalist. Everybody wants to be on the podcast. Everybody wants crypto. When the market's down, you have to worry about your career. You have to worry, like, am I going to lose my job because, Bitcoin is down? Mm-hmm. So it's really crazy how the market impacts someone's career in this industry. And it's interesting to hear you say, like, how the marketing techniques change when the market's up or when it's down.
Yeah. You have to be a lot scrappier when it's down, and you have to, really focus more on your brand and, your tone of voice on social and like more of the community engagement side. And now that the market is up, that's amazing. And we still want to maintain that level of importance on organic community development, but we're just starting to add in some of like the bigger brand work, like you saw yesterday with the drone show, and, our Go Where Dollars Won't campaign, which launched in November. And so maintaining still that like really scrappy speed to market is really important. So learning that and like maintaining that through any market condition is important. And that was something that I learned over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's really interesting. For our listeners that didn't get to see the drone show, I was so fortunate to see it from my amazing balcony in Austin. But for our listeners that didn't see it, can you explain what the drone show was and the thinking behind it?
Yeah, Natalie and I were just saying, I think you had the best view from your balcony. So I loved the video that you posted. Thank you. We have thought about doing a drone show for maybe a couple of months, but really last month it was like, let's do this. Let's find the right opportunity to do it. The Gemini brand, we always want to do something different from what everybody else is doing, and sort of say something different, think outside the box a little bit. And so we wanted to show the Go Where Dollars Won't story. It's a campaign that we launched in November. One of the hero images is a safari on Mars, and it's like this really fun Mars rover, and there's a woolly mammoth on Mars. And so we wanted to tell that story through, a new way to do it would be through a drone show. And so we had been thinking about it, and it actually came together in like the last 2 weeks.
Wow. So
really put it together quickly. And while we were putting it together, we were like, could we get a Guinness World Record as part of it too? Like, why just do a drone show if we can also add a world record on top of it? And
why not?
Trying to, again, like just go bigger with everything that we're doing. And so the drone show team that we worked with, they were able to help us with that. And so we got a world record for largest currency symbol in the sky, and it was about 1,000 drones forming a large Bitcoin symbol. And so that was an important part of the story as well.
Okay. Yeah. When I was watching it, it's so funny. We're here in Austin. I was thinking I was watching it. I was like, this is something that I'd see at like a crypto event in Dubai or, somewhere like that where it's like, and I'm like, this is Austin, Texas, which I think is just so cool that you guys did it at South by Southwest.
Totally. And that was part of the planning as well. We wanted to do something to commemorate or to celebrate the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. And with South by happening, we felt like this was sort of the perfect event in perfect location. It's, a tech enthusiast crowd. It's people who are interested in crypto or considering crypto. And so we wanted to make it about more than just the crypto crowd. We wanted it to sort of expand into the city and to be something that people in Austin can see and participate in and learn more about crypto through this. So we definitely wanted it to be something that expanded beyond the crypto crowd.
Right. Honestly, so I mean, the whole show is really cool, but what I thought was really cool about the show was the call to action. You guys had a QR code made by drones that I actually scanned it. I was like, wait a minute, does this work? And it did.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I was like, I am scanning a QR code in the sky made by drones, and it takes me to the Gemini website. Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Thank you. A few people messaged me and said that the QR code was their favorite part.
Yeah.
So it actually was pretty amazing because it was 3D. And so it was important that at the end of the show, I wanted anybody, regardless of their vantage point, to be able to scan it. So it sort of like rotated and it was 3D. So that was like intentional to get more people to scan it. And during the show, we were all saying to each other, like, who's going to be the one to test that the scanning works? So I was the one that during the show was scanning it. And I was so nervous wanting to make sure it worked.
Right.
And it did.
Yeah, because if it didn't work, that would have been crazy. But it worked.
Yeah.
And it took everyone to a landing page that said if you trade or buy $100 worth of crypto, you get $50 back.
Yes.
In Bitcoin, is that what it was?
Yep. Using code all in.
Yeah.
So that's still available for anybody who wants to use that code. And so it worked, and we had a landing page for it, which it all came together in about 2 weeks or less.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, you guys, like, seriously, best marketing campaign ever.
Thank you.
And what I think is really important right now for crypto companies and exchanges is to be unique in their marketing efforts, because right now, we really want crypto to go mainstream. We want that adoption. And I think by doing the same stuff over and over again, and I mean, we've seen the Super Bowl ads, and we've seen all of these things, the sports sponsorships. But this was something so unique and different. And I think that's where crypto companies need to focus their budget on, because that's going to kind of draw a larger crowd, right? Like, not everybody, I mean, obviously not everybody's at South by Southwest, but like, we need to get out of that, like, everybody's going to watch this sports show. It's all about sports and stuff. So I think what you guys did was really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. We have talked a lot about sports sponsorships, and for us right now, at least, that's not sort of the path that we want to go down. We want to do something different. We want to make a different statement to a totally different audience. And so that was the goal of this campaign and for other campaigns that we've been doing. And yeah, there's of course a place in the market for sports, but to us, that's never felt like genuine to our brand. Sports and celebrities is something that we've sort of steered clear of for the most part. We do partner with Real Bedford, which is a football team in the UK, and but they are like very Bitcoin focused, and so for us that was like an important partner. But outside of that, we generally steer clear of sports and try to do something that's a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that's a good call for sure.
Introducing Quai Network, a next-generation proof-of-work layer 1 for a new decentralized global monetary system. By merging currency with energy, Quai delivers the world's first decentralized energy dollar, stable, scalable, and built for real-world commerce. Harness unstoppable performance to scale global transactions and power next-level DeFi solutions. Quai paves the way for a new monetary era by bringing money, DeFi, and sustainability on a single platform. Learn more and discover how energy becomes currency at QU.ai.
You also mentioned that Gemini is now kind of having a presence more so in Europe, and your team is going to be speaking at Paris Blockchain Week. So tell us a little bit about that. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's only a couple weeks away now. We're finishing our booth there, so if anybody's at Paris Blockchain Week and wants to stop by, we'll be there. We are live in France now. It's an important market for us, and we're starting to roll out different marketing activities there. And so I'm excited over the next couple of months. We'll definitely be going bigger in Paris and trying to build our brand there. I think we don't have quite as much brand awareness, and just because we're new to that market, newer. And so I'm excited over the next few months to really figure out like what works in France and how can we communicate to that market in a way that's true to the Gemini brand, but more localized. Mm-hmm. So we're starting at Paris Blockchain Week, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. And so people that are based in France, can they use Gemini now?
Yes. Yep.
Can you explain how that works? Because so Gemini is a US-based exchange, so everybody in the United States can use it. Mm-hmm. But, for instance, in Europe, not everybody in Europe can use Gemini, or how does that work?
Yeah, we've always waited until we've been, licensed and, able to operate in countries. That's always been like so important to the brand. And it's one of the reasons why I loved Gemini from the beginning was just our focus on regulation and compliance. So yeah, we launched in France in November.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Are you guys also in Dubai or anywhere in the Middle East?
We're not in Dubai right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe there will be plans in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure, but that would be awesome.
Yeah.
From a marketing perspective, that would be really cool.
Right. I mean, also it's funny because going back to the drone show in Dubai, I have a feeling that we're going to start seeing more of these drone shows kick off from crypto exchanges because of Gemini and what you guys did last night.
I would love to see that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
We actually, there were a few exchanges on Twitter that, a few DMs where people had been saying like that they wanted to get involved in it and they were asking for, who we partnered with on it. So definitely it's sort of a crypto type of crowd, I think, that would be interested in it. So
yeah, definitely. I think we'll be seeing more of those.
Yeah.
Can you explain the Go Where Dollars Won't campaign and what that means and why it was launched?
Yes, we launched Go Where Dollars Won't in early November, and it's really this exploration of crypto and the future, where we're all going to be as a society in 100 years and how we're going to be paying for things and sort of like going on adventures in 100 years or, 50 years, depending on who you ask. And so we worked with an artist named Matt Griffin. He's a sci-fi artist. He's done work on Dune and Star Wars, and he did really beautiful designs for us that sort of showcase these future scenarios, one of which is a Mars safari, which I think is sort of like our hero image. And then there's also an underwater scene and skiing on an asteroid, which is really fun as well. And we have a fourth one coming out in about a month. So our fourth and final image from this series will be released in a couple of weeks. But we were excited to partner with him, and he really brought our vision to life. We wanted to communicate a positive vision for the future. I think a lot of times when you think about the future, you can sort of get nervous or you feel like it can feel robotic. And so we really wanted to bring sort of like a positive spin on the future and make it this place where people can think about like the positive adventures that they'll be able to go on.
Right. Are the images made into NFTs, or how does that, or are they just images that you have featured as part of the Gemini brand?
Yeah, just featured images as part of the Gemini brand. And we had about 2,700 placements. We ran a big out-of-home campaign in November in New York, Miami, Dallas, LA, and London. Close to 3,000 placements out of home to really bring the brand to life. And so many people stopped and took pictures of them and sort of tagged us on social. And so it was really exciting way to bring the brand to more people in a really high impact way through this out of home campaign.
What does out of home campaign mean? I actually read about that in the press release, and I was like, what does this mean? Is it a typo? I don't know what it means.
So it's like billboards.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So it's like marketing talk for billboards.
Yeah. Okay. Basically billboards.
Okay.
I could have just said billboards.
Wait, were you guys in San Francisco?
We weren't.
No.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, we chose LA as our California market.
Yeah.
We definitely have a few ideas for where we want to go next with it.
Okay.
San Francisco's always been on the list.
Yeah.
So maybe soon.
Yeah. It's interesting because I live part-time in Marin, which is like, San Francisco. And when I moved there in 2017, I loved it. And it was so, tech focused and everything was so great. And then after COVID, everybody left to Miami or Austin. I don't know if that's the case still in New York, but now San Francisco seems to be making a comeback. And it seems like a lot of the crypto builders are there, but I think that the city is also very focused on AI rather than crypto. So, I don't know if it would make sense for Gemini to do it there or not. But I mean, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it's San Francisco, right? And there's like still a ton of crypto people there.
Totally, yeah. And it's still like so high on our list. It was just at the time, the billboards that were available and sort of thinking about our markets. We didn't choose them at San Francisco at the time, but love San Francisco and will probably be there on billboards someday.
Cool. Yeah. No, I hope so. I hope You always see the billboards when you land and you like get off the airplane, you're driving down the freeway. You always see like the AI and all those billboards. Hopefully I'll see Gemini there soon.
Yeah. In LA, there were a few placements where it was intentional when planes were landing, like you could see them. And so that was really fun. We sort of strategically chose placements that were really high impact in that way, where you can see them through transportation hubs, or one placement was on like the City National Bank in LA, which was fun.
Oh, wow.
So sort of making a statement about, the future banking system. So we definitely like chose intentionally to try to get more eyes on it.
Yeah. It's so interesting hearing you discuss this, because when you think, you don't really think about all the things that go into a marketing position, but it's so strategic, especially when it comes to like a crypto exchange. Like you've really got to be strategic about where you put the billboards or where you do the drone show. You've got to target that audience that you want to see it.
Yeah, totally. That was super important with this campaign. It's really one of the first big brand moments that we've made as a team in about 5 years. We did a campaign 5 years ago called The Revolution Needs Rules. That was largely in New York, but really made a statement at the time, said something different about crypto and where the direction is going. And so we wanted this campaign to sort of have that same, different aspects, making a different statement, really like moving the industry forward. And so we were really strategic about where we wanted all of the billboards to be located and what we wanted the campaign to say. We wanted it to be about like the beautiful imagery, and we wanted people to think about the future and think about where they'll be in the future, and then think about crypto. So it was all strategic to really position the artwork first and then the brand sort of second.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, shifting gears a little bit, although the marketing talk is so interesting to me, which is funny because like I'm a journalist, but anyways, like, I feel like that's journalism, but kind of goes hand in hand. Let's talk about being a woman in the industry, something that we can both relate to. So what are your thoughts on that? And did you come into the industry with prior crypto experience?
No, I had no prior crypto experience. I had been reading about it a little bit while at Amex. I felt like, what is this new, financial frontier, and had read about it a little bit, but hadn't been involved in it prior to joining Gemini. I think, women bring a unique perspective to crypto, and it's really important to bring more women in. I think just to gain mainstream adoption, we have to be talking to different people and sharing different ideas. And I have felt like, Gemini, after, I've been there 5.5 years, and I have always felt like my ideas were supported, and, women are brought along and supported. And so it's been a great experience, and I'm trying to just bring more women in and, telling all my friends. And so it's been a good experience.
Do you have any advice for our women listeners that want to get involved in crypto and they're just not really sure where to start, like how they would do that?
There's a few really good organizations, I think, that support women getting into crypto, whether it's investing or looking for roles in crypto. Quai is one that I've followed for years and I've been involved in. Maggie's a great advocate in crypto. And so I would say if somebody wants to get into it and isn't sure where, Quai is a great place to start. There's so many books, and on X there's so much going on, so people can start to learn there and then engage in the discussions happening. And if anybody sees a role at Gemini that they're interested in, my DMs are open, and I love talking to women in the industry and connecting people. So always open to chatting about how to get involved in crypto.
Yeah, that's amazing. I also think we need to, women need to have this thought in their mind that it's not a scary industry, and that there's multiple skill sets that you can bring. You don't have to be a developer or a coder. You can just have these great ideas from marketing, for instance. Creative people are so useful in this industry because we need mainstream adoption here, right? We can't just cater to the same audience and the same technical people.
Totally. And it's all about bringing a unique perspective, and women do that. And I think that that's so important to get more people involved in crypto. And a lot of my best friends are in crypto.
Yeah, me too.
So it's over the years you start to see how many amazing people are already in it too, and then how many more are right on the periphery that can jump in if they they want through roles at Gemini or other exchanges.
Right. Cool. What can we expect next from Gemini in terms of marketing that you can talk about? If there's anything you can mention.
We're excited for Paris Blockchain Week. We're also thinking through right now, don't have a ton of a timeline or anything quite yet, but thinking about how to continue to build on Go Where Dollars Won't. And it's this campaign that I think has a lot of different ways in and different things that we can do with it, whether it's with the Mars Safari image itself or with this fourth image that we have coming out in a couple of weeks. So that's exciting that we'll have our fourth and final image for the campaign releasing soon. But yeah, there's a ton that we can do with this campaign, and we're thinking through how can we continue to build on it and sort of create these new like future experiences where people will be using crypto. And so that's really exciting and something that we've been like building out a plan around, and hopefully in the summer or early fall we'll have like a phase 2 maybe of the campaign.
Right. Yeah. Also, I wanted to point out, so part of that campaign, there's a woolly mammoth, right?
Yes.
I know this sounds so random, but there is significance behind that woolly mammoth. Can you explain what that is?
So the woolly mammoth is my favorite part of the entire campaign. We spent a lot of time getting him just perfect on that image. So Cameron and Tyler, who are the founders of Gemini, have invested in Colossal, which is a company that's like de-extinctifying woolly mammoths, and they just came out last week. I think there was an article about how they something with like a woolly mouse, they were able to move that forward.
And
so
I saw that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm not explaining it very well, the science of it, but so they have partnered with Colossal and invested in them, and so we've always talked about how, on this Mars scene, there should be a woolly mammoth to sort of commemorate that. And so that was really fun. And it was probably like the longest part of the creative process was to get that image just right. And in particular, the mammoth. But that's maybe why it's like my favorite image of the four of them.
It was really good. I also appreciated during the drone show, going back to that, the astronaut holding the Texas flag. So he held the United States flag and the Texas flag, which I thought was really cool as a Texan.
Yeah.
I thought was really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, we wanted it to feel sort of similar to what we were saying about marketing in France. We wanted this show in Austin, Texas to feel local as well. And so wanted to make sure that there was a local Texas element. And so that was the flag there for a few seconds.
Yeah, you could have included some barbecue in there too.
We should have next time.
I don't eat barbecue. Do you?
Yes, we had it yesterday.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Where'd you guys go?
Terry Black's?
Yeah, Terry Black's,
am I saying it right? Yeah, it was great.
You are, yeah.
Amazing.
I'm like the only Texan who doesn't eat barbecue.
So good.
But yeah.
I get it. But the mac and cheese was good. Like the sides were really good.
Okay,
so,
good to know.
Yeah.
Awesome, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Cool. So Olivia, I know we're running low on time. Obviously, you're very busy. South by is still going on. So any final thoughts that you want our listeners to know about?
Well, I appreciate the time today. I've loved meeting you this week and, love your podcast. I think, check out the Gemini credit card. If you haven't, checked out Gemini yet, let me know if there's any open roles that you see that you're interested in. And yeah, I think the product that I love best is the credit card, and I love to hear what people think about it and see their reactions on X. So
yeah, well, I'm going to check it out because I need something other than Lolly to get my Bitcoin back when I shop.
Amazing.
So that's great. Olivia, if our listeners want to get in touch with you, what is your X handle, or do you use other social media?
Primarily on X, it's OM Santarelli.
Awesome. Thanks. Great. Well, thanks, Olivia.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Thanks.
Special thanks to 4Labs Digital for producing Web3 Deep Dive podcast. I'd also like to thank the sponsors behind Web3 Deep Dive. You can click the links in the show notes to learn more about each of the Web3 initiatives from these sponsors. Finally, thanks to the listeners for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share.